What language was the Bible originally written in? It's common for new believers or for those just getting into serious Bible study for the first time to ask this question. Today, at least some of the Bible has been translated into more than 1,000 languages, with over 700 languages having a translation of the full Bible. So, what language were the original writings composed in? Well, the answer is that they were not originally written in just one language, but three. The Old Testament was composed almost entirely in Hebrew, specifically what is today often referred to as Biblical Hebrew or Classical Hebrew, which is obviously an ancient form of the language that differs in many ways from modern Hebrew. The New Testament, on the other hand, was written in almost entirely in Greek, or specifically a form of Greek called Koine Greek. Koine means common. It was the common form of Greek that was spoken in and around the Roman Empire at the time of Christ, and it served as the lingua franca in that area of the world at that time. Koine Greek is essentially a somewhat simplified form of Attic Greek, which is the form of Greek that much classical literature was actually written in, including the works of Plato, Aristotle, Sophocles, and Thucydides. Now, you'll notice that I said the Old Testament was written almost entirely in Hebrew, and that the New Testament was written almost entirely in Greek. That's because that there is, in fact, a third language that is peppered very lightly throughout both Testaments. And that language is the language Aramaic. Aramaic was widely spoken throughout the Middle East for several centuries before the birth of Christ, and even became the common everyday language of the Jews by about the 6th century BC. Jesus himself, in fact, spoke Aramaic, and when we read in Mark 15:34 that Jesus cried out, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, that is, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? He was, in fact, speaking Aramaic. In the Old Testament, specific portions of the book of Daniel and the book of Ezra were written in Aramaic, and Aramaic words and phrases are also found in other books as well. So that's it, guys. The Old Testament was written mostly in Hebrew, the New Testament was written mostly in Greek, and in a few spots throughout both Testaments, we find a little bit of Aramaic. I hope this was helpful and interesting for you. As always, if it was, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment so that I know to keep bringing content like this to you in the future. And as always, guys, thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you later.